Just a week before Christmas Day, a fire has torn through about 1,000 shacks in the Masiphumelele informal settlement in Cape Town. The wildfire has left scores of families destitute. eNCA reporter Monique Motlok is there tracking that story for us on the ground. Monique, very good morning again. Not such a good morning for the families of Masiphumelele. I wonder if any help has begun to arrive at all. What's happening currently?
We've been here for the last 3 or so hours, since about 6 o'clock this morning. We've seen residents trying to pick through the pieces of what was once their home. I just want to show you, we have been walking through this site where the fire has absolutely gutted more than 1,000 structures. My colleague Balungile Dlamini and I are just walking through just to show you the sheer devastation and the extent of the devastation. As you can see, people are trying to rebuild or not rebuild just yet, because they first want to see if they can salvage any material until authorities can provide them with new material. That's corrugated iron, some planks, some tools to help them just to get a roof back over their heads. When I spoke to residents of this area a bit earlier, they told me that the fire started yesterday afternoon in one of the structures in the B section, and that is just on the opposite side. On that side, the fire started over there, and then while residents on this side were trying to help residents in the B section, where my colleague is showing you just in the distance, as they were trying to help those residents just to grab whatever they needed, the fire was quickly, or the flames, they were being fanned by gale force winds, and that blaze then quickly spread throughout this entire section, the flames jumping from one structure to the next, just quickly engulfing all of the structures that we see here. And up until last night, firefighting crews tried to, as best as they can, extinguish the fire before it spreads even further. But what we are left with is more than 1,000 homes. I heard from Living Hope it's about 1,200 homes that have been razed to the ground. Firefighting crews have worked throughout the night just to ensure that there are no flare-ups. Right now, there aren't any firefighting crews on the scene because it looks as if the fire has been completely extinguished. That's why we see the residents just trying to sift through what they can to find maybe some documents. I heard from a resident earlier, she was saying she's lost all of her children's birth certificates. Her ID book is gone, and that's really top of mind for many residents right now, besides food, as many of them haven't eaten since yesterday afternoon when the fire first broke out. Many of them have been without a meal, so they're looking for food, they're looking for clothing, blankets to get them through what is sure to be a cold night tonight if they can't manage to get some sort of roof over their heads. Some residents have been housed by their neighbours in Masiphumelele. Others have slept in the community hall, but many haven't slept at all since yesterday afternoon. They've just been trying to stay awake, trying to ascertain what was once their plot, and trying to just demarcate. We've seen residents just staying put, trying to stay on the site that was once their home, just to ensure that they don't lose that spot when help eventually arrives in the form of fire starter kits. But we have heard from the city of Cape Town it may take a while, because due to budget cuts by national government, the city is unable to provide those relief kits as they would have done in these circumstances. So once the city of Cape Town, Western Cape government is able to declare a local disaster in this area, up until then, the residents are essentially just on their own with the help of community members, community organizations.
Well done to those community organizations for being good Samaritans. I might have missed it, Monique, very briefly. Any idea what caused the fire?
Not yet, Bradan. I'm still waiting for the City of Cape Town's fire and rescue services. What I've heard from residents is that the fire seems to have started in one of the structures. As we've seen in cases like these in previous years, it could be a myriad of reasons. As you know, with many of these structures being without electricity, there's often the use of kerosene lamps, gas. Stoves are used, candles are used, and it could be any one of these factors could have led to that fire. But what we do know, according to residents, is that it started in the one structure on the other side of the site in the B section, and those flames just quickly spread throughout this entire site where we are standing on.
Thank you very much, Monique Mortlok, there in Masiphumelele, which was a settlement there of 1,000 shacks and now razed to the ground by a fire.